on above us. If you didn't know, Donald Trump has waged war on whatever a UAP is. My age bracket calls them UFOs. He has given the go-ahead to shoot down anything in the sky unidentifiable by the United States military. That was a few days ago. I live near what I believe to be the largest military base in the northeastern United States. And every summer they have reserve. This is the reserve training center here, man, for every state. They all come here for 2 weeks to train. You got 90,000 federal acres. There's a lot that goes on here. Particularly where I live is the area where Einstein and his mathematician vacationed during the Manhattan Project. This is a real funny area, and a lot of funny stuff has gone on the whole time I've lived up here. And every summer you hear a couple jets here and there. The last couple of days, there has been a multitude of jet aircraft. I had something take off from the National Forest over there the other day. I lived in Florida for 21 years, and I watched every shuttle launch from the time I was a child, rocket launch. I was super enthralled in it. And it does a certain thing to the ground when a rocket takes off. You can feel the space shuttle in Orlando moving your whole house when it takes off in Cape Canaveral, an hour away. Something took off the other day that literally made me get down. I thought we were going to get hit. I thought we were done. Incoming. It was that rocketeer, that rumbly, that ground shaking. It turned up in amplitude to the point that I literally got low and got ready to hit the deck. I didn't know what was going to happen. And then something came from the horizon and took off like that. And as it took off, it kind of made a really quiet jet noise, but not really. It was very strange. And since then, now UFOs are supposed to be silent or whatever. Perhaps they are, but maybe when they're not cloaked and they're in their physicality, they actually disrupt air molecules, and there is a sensation from the movement, especially an explosive launch movement like that. I don't know, man. I'm just speculating. Hello. I don't have my glasses on. I think that says natural editor 777. Hello, man. Okay, hello. Yeah, I'm not too sure, but you can hear the jets in the background, okay? And it's way cooler than it usually is. And the weird clouds are out. And so since there were so many jets, I just thought I'd go live and talk about what could possibly be going on. I see you, whoever you are. I don't have my glasses on right now, man. Hang on. I'm going to give you the sky for a minute and I'll be back. I don't know how much of the sky. I think you're going to get some trees. Hold on. Okay, so sounds like the jet went off that way for a while. Okay, Kunal Editor 777 and Alwyn Rockstar. Hello. And I see possibly Japanese friend in the house. Hi. Yeah, so I'm not real sure. Like I said, the anomalous clouds, but these are different than they have been. They don't have the sharp geometric angles. They're just really low and really heavy. The air is thick. Um, I have some theories about the nano dust, smart dust. They've got all kinds of systems in place now to measure the environment, and you know, there's really no telling exactly what they're doing to us, because a lot of stuff is being done by corporations, and they're corporate armies. That's what a lot of people don't understand. This is 2026, and it's not just the feds. These corporations have been given free rein to operate in a pseudo-governmental manner in the pursuit of technology and happiness. I don't know, whatever the American mantra is supposed to be. It's not that anymore. So we're just waiting right now. The jets seem to fly a couple sorties, and then they come back. They go back to fuel or something. They're not up for very long. It's like a real quick interdiction, and then they're gone somewhere else. Personal opinion, that's likely due to the anomalous here I am, now I'm not behavior of whatever these objects are they've been given permission to shoot down. Now, here in Michigan, last summer, they shot something down over the lake. They didn't do a whole lot of talking about it. The talking they did do about it, the claim was that it was an air balloon. But if you watch the government video of it, it's pretty plain to see that it wasn't an air balloon. In fact, I mean, as crazy as it sounds, it looks like a giant jellyfish. And I can't even believe I'm saying that. I think there's giant jellyfish in the sky, but this is such a weird deal anymore. It's hard to say. And I have captured so much anomalous video. I got an infrared phone, an ULA phone, a couple of years ago. And at the time, it was the only phone with infrared camera or thermal camera embedded in the hardware. There's a lot that goes on behind the scenes in regards to consumer devices, to where regulators put stuff in place. They don't want you to have stuff like that. The plain and simple fact is they don't want everybody running around with infrared and thermal vision. They just don't, because it's advantageous to the individual user in his pursuit of anonymity and happiness. So I got an infrared handset a long time ago, and I started to see strange stuff. And I said, well, I can kind of see something with my naked eye, but it's definitely there on infrared. And so, since I'm firsthand witness with naked eye, and I'm seeing something on the infrared, it's an anomalous event. So I started recording them and recording the pattern that they showed up. And it's been a couple of years, and now I have 14,000 pieces of media in my hard drive, and I have built a website, and that website has a community section where everybody's input will be pooled, and I've written some quantum to classic binary crossover tri-bit fulcrum understanding algorithms for my agentic AI photo picker. And, it's basically a system to weed out things that are going to have a prosaic explanation. And really focus on the anomalous stuff in the drive. It'll be vaulted. It'll be a pay gate because I've spent so much time and money collecting all my data. I have to get a return for it, but there's a bunch of free stuff on there too. And there's an image cleaner, and we're going to use NASA's best radioscope image practices. And I'm building basically a supercomputer in the cloud on the back end that you'll be able to get an API call to once a day with one anomalous photo and have it rendered. You won't have to pay to build the computer to do it or anything like that. Once a day, you can get one picture. You're just like, man, I don't know, something weird about it, and we can get it cleaned up. And you can post it to the community if you like. So that's the direction the channel's going to go. And I have 30 pieces of software that I've written for signal security and for data sovereignty. We're not going to be doing air guns probably at all, even if I win this thing with Karen and the HOA. It's just become so much of a hassle. Excuse me. Yeah, so about $5,000 in air guns and equipment. Yeah, down the drain. Couldn't use the stuff last summer. We geared up last winter. We had the ice storm that hit us, and then Karen turned around and called the county and said our yard was a mess. And everybody around us was given an opportunity to clean up, and we ended up with a ticket. It's just weird. She has weaponized a bunch of situations in an effort to purchase this property in a bullish manner, and she failed. We managed to purchase, pay the escrow, so she's pretty mad about that. And the crazy thing is, Mary was here first, and this chick came from downstate a couple years ago, and now she's just the HOA boss up here. And I won't say what kind of person she is, but let's just say she's real manly. How about that? And I'm not sure. But because it's just become a problem with her for me to do anything air gun related on the property, I think I'm going to phase in another direction. I was trying to sell an air gun to retain an attorney to help, and the market is soft. I don't know anybody with the kind of money that I need for the kind of guns that I got. So they're all in Mary's safekeeping, and I guess we'll go forward from there. But the jets are gone, so I'm going to turn the live off for now. But the minute they return, I'll turn the live back on. That's the update on the air gun situation. The farm's looking good, as always.